Hello guys, welcome back. In this video I'll be showing you how to how to create this file thing, basic submit form where we upload files, and this is added here in a list. And yeah, so basic form stuff, right? We already built a login form. Now we'll be building an upload file form, and slowly and steadily I'll be implementing all the other designs from Figma, whichever I find useful, right? Like dashboard and stuff. So we'll go with the basics first. After that we'll slowly and steadily build more advanced stuff, right? So anyway, let's get started. Basic application window. We have two icons, two images here. One is this image, this cloud image, right? This is one image, and this cross button is another image, right? If I zoom in a bit, it will be visible. So let's get started. Basically, if you look from the outside, okay, first let's add the images. I've already downloaded the images and placed in the image folder here. I'll be adding from scratch. Click here, add new, cute, resource file. I'll be calling it images. You can call it anything. Better. After that, be sure to set CMake auto RCC on. And also good practice to set CMake auto mock on. If you press F1 here, you know whether to handle mock objects. Very good practice to add this, right, for building stuff. So, but RCC one is important. So we are done. After that, let's run CMake. So the resource is visible. It's visible now. Right click here, add existing files, and add the two images which you have added. Copy this, add them here. So they are added now, right? So we are done with setting up the images. Just a bit, guys. Anyway, now let's go back to the UI and see the Figma. So from a broader perspective, if you see, this is basically a column or a column layout. First item this, second item this, third item this, fourth item is a list, and fifth item is upload files, right? So basically column layout. So we'll be doing that. Let's implement the layout, and this is basically a label. We'll be adding that. I'll not be using plain column. I'll be using column layouts, right? So for using column layouts, you have to import quick.layouts, which I've already added. So after that, let's set the anchors. We'll group them together. So I'll say anchors.fill parent margins 20. This is called grouping similar items in a single place. So it looks good and does not look very congested, right? So that's that. After that, we'll add some spacing between the elements in the column. So I'll say spacing of 20, spacing of, let's say, 10. We'll add some extra spacing as needed later. Now first item is a label. For using label, you have to obviously import quick.controls, which I've already done. The text of the label will be QSTR for a translation purpose. Obviously we are not translating right now, but it's a good practice, so we'll follow that. It says upload, so I'll say upload. Upload. Yep. Now after that, we have to set the font. So I'll also group the fonts together. First of all, the point size, I'll say 18, and font weight, I'll say font.demibold. I hope you know what demibold is, right? If I press F1 here, okay. So come on, man. There has to be some font thing, right? There is family, there should be weight, yeah, weight, font weights. Come on, man. Yeah, see this. This is the thing. Like in CSS, if you know, it's from 100 to 900. Very simple thing: bold, demi-bold, BEM, normal, light, extra light, thin, black, right? So I'll be choosing demi-bold, which is 600, right? So yeah, we can also set the weight to 600 like this. If I remove this font or demi-bold and I set 600, also good enough. But better to use Qute's own macros and enums, right? So after that, we'll also be aligning it. So I'll say layout dot alignment, Q dot align edge center. So it's, if the column is this wide, it will be in the horizontal center. Let's see. You will see a problem. The problem is that the label will be in the center of the window. The problem is label is in the center of the window, obviously, because the column layout is the full width. full width and full height, and it will try to center the items. We don't want that, so for that we'll be adding a dummy item and also layout.fill height true. This is basically the item will take the extra available height minus the spacing minus the labels height. So now it will be pushed to the top. I hope you remember what this item does, right? The purpose of this item. Yeah, what this does is it will take the rest available height after subtracting the height of the label and the spacing. So yeah, after that the last item will be a button. So let's directly add the button here. So I'll say button. Now in the button I'll say text. It will be QString. That will be upload files. Now if you see the upload files is in full capitalization. Here we can also do that, but that is not a good practice, so we will not be doing that because obviously if you try to search it, if you select this string and press Control Shift K plus F, sorry, Control Shift F or Command Shift F, if you hold on back, you will see this search result thing, and here there is a flag for case sensitive. So if I do this, I'll be able to find this text here, but if I change it to upload or something like so, this is not case sensitive. So obviously it's better to use the camel cases or the just like not full uppercase but capital letter of the first string, right? So I hope you are getting my point, right? So it's not a good practice to make it full capital in the string. So there is that instead of that we have to set the coordinate item to be text. Here we'll say that text is this thing. Now horizontal alignment, text dot align edge center, or there is vertical alignment, text dot align v center. Now same thing, right? But here we can also change the text format, not format. I think there should be, let's see, there should be a property to change the text's style. Should be capitalization. Yeah, font dot capitalization. Font dot capitalization is the property which we are looking for. Why am I not able to select this? Sorry for my background noise. Font capitalization, this one. What the fuck, man? Should be able to use it. There should be all uppercase or stuff like that, right? Yeah, this one. Font dot all uppercase, font dot all lowercase, small caps, capitalized, mixed case. So I'll be choosing font dot all uppercase, obviously, right? Now, obviously, the button should also have some background. I'll say background is rectangle. Now the rectangle's color, we'll choose this color which they have provided already. This one, it's this color, 48 something. So I'll be choosing this color. Add a hash before that. I also say anchors.fill parent. Good practice. Now, yeah, I think that's that. Let's see. Was there some radius? Yeah, there is some radius, so we have to add some radius. How much radius? Padding? No. Corner radius 4. Okay, so we'll be adding a radius of 4. Okay, so you are getting a warning because you have to specify like the basic style, because the current pic style is not for customization. Let's see now. Yeah, the issue is the width and height. We have to also say layout.fill with true and stuff, right? So I'll say layout.fill with true. Excuse me. Yeah. Also, if you see, we have to provide some top and bottom padding. So we can say top padding of, let's say, 15. bottom padding of let's say 15. Now you'll see there is a space between the top and the bottom. Yeah, as you can see there is a space between the top and the bottom. Still the text color has to be larger, and so for that I'll be grouping this together. I'll say font capitalization is this, font dot point size is let's say 12, and font dot weight is let's say font dot demi bold, and also we'll change the text color. So I'll say color is FA, which is white, almost white. Yeah, I think this looks okay. Obviously the color is much more grayed out. I don't know why I'm not getting the color. Let me use color picker to see the actual color. A3 ED4, A39 ED4, okay. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, we also have to add some radius. I forgot radius of let's say 4. Now it should look good. So we'll be done with the button part. Obviously I'm going a bit slow. I hope this is not too boring for you guys, because we have to learn everything. Right now, if you see, there is a problem. Right, if I hover on it, or I'm not getting the click signal. Right, so there is a property called hover enabled. I'll set it to true, and I'll give it an ID of button. Now hovering is enabled, and whenever this button is hovered, I'll say if button dot hovered, right, then the color will be a bit darker. So I'll say q dot darker. I'll provide this color. I'll give it also alpha factor. So if I say 1.2, it will be 120%, like 20% more darker. So default is 1, which is the same. 1.2 means 20% more darker. So if it's hovered, otherwise just this plain color, right? Let's see. Excuse me. I think this is too much. If I say 1.1, the default is actually 1.5 for darker. Like it will be 50% more dark here. I think this is good enough, right? So the button part is also done, right? We can have on click signal here, stuff like so. We're done with the button. We're done with the upload. Excuse me. Now let's do this shape. For that, I'll not be adding the shape in this entire file, because this file will become too large to actually work properly. So instead of that, we'll be using another custom component. So close this resource, click here. Don't make my mistake. Last time I clicked on the resource, so this time I'll click here. Add new cute QML file. Now I'll place that inside utils. You can place this inside any folder. So I'll place this inside utils. So utils slash now the component name will be upload direct. Upload direct, yeah. Anyway, upload rectangle. Let's go with upload direct. Not a very good name, but sorry. So after that, this is basically a shape, right? So we'll basically start with shapes. First of all, import quick dot shape. First of all, this will be a shape. Let's give it an ID of let's say control. Also, so that we don't forget it, we'll be setting the width and height from outside. So instead of item, I'll say shape. Not shape, sorry, my bad. The component which we created just now. Upload direct, that we'll be using upload direct, but you will see a problem here. Upload rect direct. Now unknown component, because we did not actually add this, so there are two ways of doing this. One way is directly import the folder path, so it's inside utils. So now it will be available. Not a good practice. Let's say it was inside utils slash abc slash xyz, so I had to do utils slash abc slash xyz, and then I'd be able to access that. So yeah, this is not a good way. Other thing is import the module, because this is added inside the module. So as you can see, so I'll be importing this module, upload file UI module. So I'll say import upload file UI and tool QML reset code model to reset it. I'll build. And then, as you can see, it worked properly. So from outside, when I said that I'll be providing stuff from outside, so I'll say layout.fill width true. So I provided the width to this one. Right now the height, I think I should take the height from inside instead of providing the height from outside, right? So I'll set the height here. So I'll say height is okay. So my problem is this is messed up for me. It's opening my build file, which I should not do. I have to click here. Yeah, this is the file in util slash. So yeah, here I'll say height. Let's say the height is, let's see what they chose the height to be, 202. So I'll say 250. You could also exactly go what they provided, but anyway, I've set the height for the shape. Now I have to add a shape path. I hope you remember what a shape path is, right? So there is something called stroke color. So the border color actually, if I zoom in for a bit, let's see what the border color is. I'll be using color picker. It's BFC4EA. Okay. So I've chosen the stroke color. I will now choose the stroke width. Let's close this. Let's see the width. Did they provide the width? No, they actually did not provide the width. So we'll go with default width of 2. Then I'll say stroke style, and I'll say shape path dot dashed line. I hope you remember what stroke style is. There is dash or there is solid. So solid means basic plain rectangle. Dash means there will be dash, which we obviously want, right? So there is also something called dash pattern. It's 4,2. 4 is the number of the width of the dash, and 2 is the gap width. So last video you can directly check it out. Then I'll say fill gradient. Actually, should I fill gradient or should I fill color? Is this a gradient? Let's see. I don't think this is a gradient. Yeah, this is not a gradient. What color is this? F8, F9, F8. So I'll just say fill color. So let's first open shape path. QML. I think I forgot, but there is a property called fill color. Basic color, very simple, right? You set color of the rectangle, so this is basically the same. Instead of gradient, I'm providing the color. So what was the color? F8, F9, F8. Okay. Fill color. Yeah. So after that, we have to set the actual rectangle. So I'll be saying path rectangle. Now path rectangle, actually the path rectangle took 4 components, like the start position and the like XY and the width and height. So or you could just simply give the width and height, right? So I'll say the width to control dot width, height to control dot height, where control is this root shape, right? Radius of let's say 4, stroke adjustment of let's say this shape path, let's call it, or let's not give it an ID. I'll just say parent dot stroke width. Yeah, so I think this should work properly. Let's see. Column layout polish. Okay, there has been some issue. Okay, so for layout I have to give preferred height. My bad guys. So preferred height of, let's say, 250, because this is inside a layout. Sorry for that. So remove this one. Now let's see. Unable to assign undefined to double. Okay. Stroke adjustment parent dot stroke width. It's not getting the parent. Okay. So instead of that, let's give it an ID of shape path. Maybe the shape path is not a element. I thought it was not visible, but I guess it's not even the parent. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this works. So I have to give it an ID. Also, let's do one thing. Instead of preferred and let's give it here. Okay, so again the same issue. I cannot like work with. This is my issue. I'll fix it. So yeah, here we have to import Qt quick layouts. But this is not a good practice. Don't do this, guys, because we don't know when we'll be importing this shape. I'll show you the problem. It worked properly. I'll show you the issue. Let's say we have a custom button, right? Let's say let me draw it properly. Let's say we have a custom button, right? Button. So it can be used inside a column also. It can be used inside a column layout also, or row also, row layout also as well, right? So anyway, if you set layout.fill height row inside this button, that's not a good practice, because if it's used inside a column, so this layout.fill height is meaningless, right? So we should not put it inside here. So how can we fix this issue? You should not do this here, because this component can be also used inside a normal column. It's not mandatory that we'll always be using this inside layout. So we can use implicit height. Now it will work properly. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't know why it did not take implicit height as well. I guess for this reason. I guess implicit height doesn't work here. My bad, guys. I have to check how to fix this issue. But for now, let's stop giving it height inside. Let's give it height here. But I'll see a workaround around this. But that's an issue. But the second best practice is to give the height from outside, because we don't know if we'll be using this component in another column or not, right? So yeah, that's that. Now we created this stuff, right? Now we have to add the image and this label and another label, right? So we can do that inside, but let's keep it as a generic component. So we'll be adding image here. But if you see this image, this thing, these are columns basically, right? So this is basically a column, 3 items, right? So I'll be using column inside this upload rect. So I'll say column, let's use column layouts and say anchors dot fill parent. I'm using anchors because this parent, this is not a column, right? This is a shape, not a column. So not a layout. This is not a layout, but basically a generic shape. So I'll be using anchors here. So I'll say anchors dot fill parent, anchors dot margins 20. You could group them together, right? So first item is an image, layout dot fill width, or let's say let's give some alignment, q dot line edge center. Now source, this one, copy URL, paste here. After this image, we also have label. I'll say again for the label it will be horizontal center. So I'll say layout.alignment, q.align edge center, and the text will be, let's copy this entire text. drag and drop files or browse. Now if you see, this browse thing is underlined and blue in color. So to do that, we have to set the text format, text dot styled text or rich text right? This is less costlier and also almost the same, so you can use this one. So first of all, I'll say font color equals in single quotes, I'll say whatever this color is. Let's use color picker to see the actual color. Okay, let's zoom in for a bit, and let's use color picker to see the actual color. 473 EA7. Okay, 473 EA7. Now also an underline, so I'll be using U, the underline tag in this table, and close these tags, so /U /font. Let's see, we also have to change the font size and stuff, right? We'll do that. Close this, close this. Drag and drop files or browse. We have to change the font size significantly. Currently, also let's reduce the spacing. Let's say spacing of how much can be the spacing? Let's say 20. Font point size 15, 16. Weight font or demi bold. After that label, we also have another label, or let's say text. So we know this is not that major, right? This one, copy this. Okay, so text keywords here. Let's reduce the font size to, let's say 10, and the color, let's say 777. Let's see if this works properly. Okay, so we have to also do this one. Layout.align. Excuse me. I think there should be more spacing. So let's increase the height of the image. Preferred height, let's say 100. Good enough, I guess. Also, let's push this to at the bottom. So I'll say layout dot fill height through. So it will eat up the space between the image and these two texts. So let's see. So because I set the width, I also have to set the, sorry, I set the height, I have to set the width also, right? So I'll say preferred width. Now it should look good, right? Or we can use the image property like fill mode, image dot preserve aspect fit. Let's see. Decent enough, although spacing is too large. Change it to 10. Let's see. Just basic estimations, guys. I hope you are not getting bored. And this is basic estimation. I am actually trying to make it look the same as the image. I think this is good enough, right? If I see the Figma, if I zoom back, I think this looks the same, I guess. The image is a bit large, I guess, right? I think there is more margin from the top, and the height is also a bit less, so do that. Anchors dot margin, so anchors dot top margin of, let's say 30. Now let's finish this. Okay, so yeah, that's the issue. Let's remove this. Preferred height of, let's say 220. Basic customization, guys. I think this looks good enough, right? There's no need to waste more time here. Also, let's add an item between these two with a height of 10 to add some more spacing. So I'll say layout dot preferred height of, let's say, 10. So there is more spacing. So 10 spacing from label to item, and 10 more spacing from item to uploaded, and 10 more spacing for this item. So total 30. Decent enough, right? I hope you got my point. So from label to this item, there is 10 spacing. From this item also has 10 height, so 10 more spacing, and again from this item to uploaded, there is 10 spacing. So total 30 spacing, right? So there's that. After that, we have text uploading dot something, right? So we'll be using this label, but 3 out of 3 files. That thing we can make it custom right now, but I was thinking of using list view. Let's see if we have enough time. How much time did we take? Okay, so 30 minutes. I think I can make it under 1 hour. So just a minute. Okay, so let's make it fully functional. Let's make it fully functional, right? This thing for now, let's make a placeholder text of uploading 3 files. After that, we'll remove the placeholder and actually be using the list views count for the number of files. So let's check this thing. After this item, we have to add a label. So yeah, the text will be this QSTR for translation. Uploading 3 out of 3 files. We'll change this text, obviously, right? Don't worry too much about it. Now this is left aligned. By default, it's obviously left aligned, so we don't need to set layout.alignment q.align left. By default, it's left aligned. The color will be changing and font weight will be changing. So color will be gray, 777, and the font weight will be demi bold. Let's see if it works properly. Okay, so I have to put it under the item. My bad. And the font size also, right? The font weight is okay, but the font size is abysmally low. So point size of, let's say, what the. Actually, I did not get the suggestion for point size. Now this should be more spacing, right? So I'll be adding another item with preferred height of 10. Instead of doing this, I could have added a spacing of 20, but let's see. I don't think this is also a very bad approach. Let's see. So after this also, I'll be adding another item, just for the fun of it. Now after this, we are left with this list view. So 3 similar components. As you can see, this is a component, this is also a component, this is also a component. 3 similar components, right? Now excuse me. Now how to achieve this, right? One way is one very easy way. I'll show the easy way. I'll build a custom progress bar later, but right now let's keep the progress as it is, right? We'll be like building a progress bar. Like, what do I mean by progress bar? If I show you my project, let me show you my project. This is a progress bar, right? So I'll be building that later. I'll be showing you how to do that later, but not right now. So anyway, just keep it as it is. We'll be using list view. Now I'll say layout dot fill width true. I'll say layout dot fill height. Not fill height true, because we don't need the full height. Let's see the applications available height. There has to be some spacing also, right? So for that, we'll not say fill height true, we'll say layout dot preferred height, and we'll say 150. Let's also give the ID of list view to my list, or simply list view, right, in small letter. After that, as we know, list view has 2 things. The first thing is a model, the other is a delegate. So for now, let's Let's add a list model first. For now, I'll be adding a list model here. ID will be list model, and list element. I have to comment it out, otherwise I will not be getting suggestions. Yeah. So the each list element has to have some properties, right? Let's see. First of all, there has to be a name. As you can see, there is your file here .pdf, a name. The second thing has to be the progress, right? How much progress it has done. So two things, right? One is name. So I'll say name. The name will be, you can use QSTR here. The first name will be, let's say, book.dsa dsa.pdf, dsa data such as algorithms, or let's say algorithms.pdf, and progress, let's say 0.5. I'll use progress from 0 to 1. So this is middle list. Let me just duplicate this 3 times or 4 times, whatever. So this is algorithms. Let's call this database. Let's call this network, and let's call this what can I say, C++.pdf, right? Change the progress also 7.2.8, and the model will be list model. Now we have to design the delegate. I was actually thinking of you making a custom delegate, so let's do that, so that the code is a bit clear, right? So I'll be building a custom delegate. What should I name it? Custom file content, custom file item, custom item, or something like that. Custom file, what can I say? Custom list item, yeah. Now we have built this. From the looks of it, you can see this is basically a rectangle, and inside that there are 2 things, right? Basically a row. So I'll be doing a patch thing, so I hope you are not getting confused. As for row, I'll be using QQuick.layouts. Now this is a rectangle. This rectangle, I'll be given an ID of control. Good practice. So inside this, I'll be using something called row layout, because I'm obviously using layouts in my whole project. So it's good practice to use layouts here. For layouts, I'll say anchors.fill parent. Now I filled the parent. Now the spacing, no need to forward giving spacing. Okay, so the first thing is label. For label, we have to import QQuick.controls. I hope this is not getting too boring for you guys. Excuse me. The text will be QString. The text I'll be passing from outside. So I'll say required property. Required property name, I guess, and required property string name, real progress or double progress, right? So these are required from outside, and our model will provide these 2 values. And here, it will, instead of QString, it will be simply name, or a better practice is to use control.name. Be more specific. Text alignment, horizontal center and vertical center. Horizontal element q.align a center, or because you are using row layout, you can simply use layout.alignment. Right, that also works fine. Not a center, sorry, v center, vertically, like this is in the vertical center. So we are done with the label part. The color is black only. We have to change the color to black, yeah, because by default the color of the label is white. Color I have to use for this style, obviously. For some other styles the color might differ. And the point size I have to change font point size to, let's say, 12. And the other right side part is an image, right? This image. So I'll be using an item to fill the width, layout.fill width true, to eat up the width between the label and the image. The right part will be an image, layout.alignment, vcenter, and the source for the image will be this vector.svg. Actually the name should have been more better, right? Cross svg or something. So this is the image. And the width, instead of width and height, you should use layout.preferred width, preferred height of, let's say, 20, and layout.preferred width of, let's say, 20. Obviously the ordering should be width above height. Good practice, right? Let's see if this works properly. Actually, why this should not work properly, because we are not actually giving the delegate, right? So we have the model, we have to now add the delegate. Again I made the same mistake, guys. I added this inside resource. I should not have done that. Now we have to remove this. So I'll image, open with plain text editor, remove this, but first copy this part. I have copied it. Now I'll remove this, and I'll be adding it in CMake. Yes, now run CMake. Now this is added as a QML file, not added as a resource. Earlier it was added as a resource. Now it's added as a QML file, right? Custom list item. Now I'll be using this custom list item. I've already imported upload file UI module, so I can directly use it, just like I used upload direct. So the delegate will be custom list item, but you cannot do this like this, right? It's not a good practice. So create a component first, give it some ID of, let's say, delegate. Actually, let's give it an ID of my delegate. Now unknown component custom list item. Why? I think I have to reset my code model because very slow. Now it worked properly, right? Again it's opening the build file. My bad, guys. Sorry for my background noise. But let's see if this works properly. I forgot to give spacing in the list. My bad, guys. I should have given some spacing here also. Let's say 30. Okay, so the rectangle's color I did not give. My bad. Let's give it a spacing of 20. Sorry for my background noise. Also here I will give the preferred height of, let's say, 40. So the height is decent enough, or let's say 44. Not this. Set the color of the rectangle to, let's say, color should be white, right? The color should be white, but there should be a border, very thin border. So forget the color. I'll set border dot width of, let's say, 1, and border dot color. Also you can group them together. The border color will be AAA. Let's see now, and radius of, let's say, 4. Forgot the radius, or let's say 4. Okay, so just a minute. I forgot to fill width. Sorry. You have to also give some width, right? For a rectangle, you have to give the width and height. So I'll say layout dot fill width true. Let's see now. Okay, so there has to be some issue here. Let's see. I have given the width. I said anchors dot fill parent. I have given some preferred width and height here. Let's give some preferred height to this item 2 of, let's say, 30. Just a minute, guys. There has to be some issue here, right? Let's give you some color and see. Just something, guys. Okay, so it's not taking the full width. Why is that? I have added custom list item. I've also given some fill width through here. Preferred height of this. Increase the height. There's a 300. Okay, so 300 is too large. 100. I think 150 was good enough. Now why is this not taking any height? I give it my delegate. I give some width also. I give some height as well. Instead of this, I have to check the issue here. Preferred width is given image, so image works properly. The rectangle, which is the base rectangle, it should have some width and height. Let's do one thing. This is very annoying. Let's see component dot on completed. Let's print the width and height. Console dot log width height. Let's see after this completes what the width and height for each item. Width is 0, height is 0. Okay. Now why is that? I'll say wait a minute. Why did I use layouts? Okay, my bad. Damn. See, this is a stupid move. Like, this is a list view. This is not a layout. So it should not be layout.fill2. It should only be width parent.width. And height should be 44. So this is the problem that I got messed up with layouts. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Now it worked properly, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry for my mistake. I hope you got my mistake. I'll put this item below the list. This is not a layout, so that's why I should not have used layout.fill with layout.fill height. My bad, guys. Sorry. Also, let's reduce the spacing to okay, 10 is good enough. Let's change the color back. No need for this color. No need for this thing also here. No need for this also here. Let's see now, guys. Looks good enough. We should have some padding, right? So instead of anchors.fill, I'll also add some anchors.margin. Anchors.left margin of, let's say, 20. Anchors.right margin of, let's say, 20. Let's see, guys, if this works properly. Also, the layout font weight should be increased. Is this vertically centered? Is this text vertically centered? I don't think so. No, the image is vertically centered. Okay, so if I anchors.fill parent is done. I forgot this. See, these steps are always confusing because for labels you have to use this property, vertical alignment and horizontal alignment. Very confusing stuff, guys, but don't worry, with more projects will be more prominent in this. Now let's see if this looks okay. No, the boldness has to be increased, so I'll say font dot bold, font dot weight, font dot medium. I guess medium works fine. 500, medium is 500. Is this perfect? Yeah, I think this is perfect, right? Now one last thing remaining is to add this blue stuff, right? So a very silly way to do this is, let's add a rectangle here, and I'll say anchors dot bottom, parent dot bottom, and you know by default anchors dot left is parent dot left, right? So I'm not doing that. Now I'll say the color to be whatever this color is, 48 this thing, and I'll say the height to be 1, and I'll say the width to be control dot width multiplied by progress. Get it? If the progress is 0.5, it will be 50% of the width. Okay, the height is too low, not visible. Let's set the height to 5. Got it, guys? Almost the same, right? Funny patch, but it works. If it works, by default we can obviously change the progress from, we can increase the progress with a timer. Where is this? Here we can have a timer to increase the progress value, right, for the delegate. So yeah, one way of doing that, right? This is scrollable list view. I should have added a scroll bar here, right? There is no indicator for the list view to be scrollable, so let's also add that. Scroll bar dot vertical scroll bar. So scroll bar B is capital, guys. If you are confused with too many components, don't worry, guys. These are all very simple stuff. I'll be obviously showing you. See, if you see, there is a scroll bar here. Does not look that good, but yeah, who cares? Also, you have to add clip through, otherwise you'll see there is a very bad thing. The thing is touching the upload thing, right? If you see, the uploading part is being touched, so I'll say clip through. It will clip whatever is outside the width and height. So if this, so if any item goes beyond the available width and height, it will be clipped. So now you see it works properly, right? So that's that. One more thing, guys. This 3 out of 3. Instead of that, we can do this list view dot count uploading. You can use this one, %1 dot args count. Property args, sorry, I think it will be arg. As you can see, we did that, right? This is basic JavaScript stuff, right? So %1 means whatever the first argument. There are, let's say there are 2 arguments, right? There is another argument which is called files. So if I set it to %2, it will take the second argument. So this is the first argument, this is the second argument, so it will take that second argument. Let's see now. Yeah, as you can see, it works properly, right? I was thinking of adding a file picker. Let's go, guys, don't worry, you will understand it very soon. Let's add a mouse area here. Actually, I was thinking like, okay, I think this will be too much, guys, right? But I was thinking if I click here, a file box will open, and then this will be appended in the list, right, with some progress. So, but I think this will be too much for you guys right now. But anyway, thank you for watching. We built a basic form, right? Looks good enough, I guess. Anyway, next video I'll be doing more Figma designs. Thank you for watching, guys.